I got my second ever MVP in Marvel Rivals, this time with Iron Fist. So we're just following the Devil Dinosaur, making sure that they take the lead because they're our only chance to make space. And I thought of taking the bridge over there, and I noticed that they also have an Iron Fist on the enemy team. Felt like taking a detour first, just to make sure that I don't get seen so I could flank. This was the first time I ever heard Shuri speak, actually. So now it was time to sneak. I really hate fighting Loki because it's usually hard to find him in the midst of his illusions. Just going in the middle of the fray. But I found Gambit and he's a lot easier to follow. So just attack him, take him down. Nice. Loki taken down, the real one. And then Deadpool already having ult. I was so surprised when that happened. I was about to lose my life, but thankfully I had my healers to help me out. And we took care of the team. I felt like taking a detour here. You can see all the enemies, but I didn't see it at the time. I was worried they would see me. And Loki did see me, so I felt like making an exit. Healed a bit for the overheal, and then I ran into Deadpool. Good thing I used my block so I could use my empowered fists. It was so hard trying to follow him, and then his shield got in the way, but he didn't get away. I was actually expecting him to use a movement ability, but he stayed behind, and then he lost. So I saw Loki and then Gambit, so time to take Gambit on. He was separated. Nice. Took it around a bit. Took my empowered punches, and then it worked. I saw Spider-Man, so I thought maybe I could go ahead and take him away from my friends. Shoved him away a bit.
Time to heal.
Took a break for a bit, just to make sure that I was fully healed. Then someone switched over to Groot, but I decided to take the Venom first. Took him out. Groot was an easy KO there. I tried to hit Phoenix, but they disappeared. That was a bit embarrassing. Just kicking the air there. Just a bit of a healing to make sure I could recover. Then I went over to the fray. Hopefully I could hit the real Loki, and then they got taken out. I took the kill from Blade. Sorry, Blade. But I took away the Gambit, and we got the win. Surprisingly, good first round. Warrior Falls is also another difficult one because of that huge tunnel that separates the two areas. So, not a lot of places for me to hide, so that would have been very interesting. Alright, so we still have only one tank in the Dino. And we met everybody already here in the tunnel. Everybody else was fighting, but I felt like it would be best if we decide to cover and get the zone. And then I activated my ult, went after somebody, I don't know who, but then I took the Groot and Loki down as well. Spider-Man ulted, I got stunned. That was really frustrating, but I still managed to take them down despite that. I earned myself a nice heal right there. Okay, we got cut off because of what happened with the zone, so it was time to go ahead and take the fight to them. I felt like taking a flank over here, but then I realized there's no alternative path, so we were stuck in this tunnel. Groot walls are so annoying, so I decided to go ahead and brawl and help the Dino at the front. Got my block off, and then I decided to brawl it up with my punches. Did pretty well, I got a double. I didn't even know how that happened. Went after Loki, and still managed to get them despite trying to escape. So everybody's gone. We had a nice 30%. Give myself a nice heal, just to make sure I could top myself off, have an overheal. Enemies were already coming in. Our Devil Dino was holding the tunnel, so I decided to give them some backup. Trying to go inside the zone, but unfortunately, as you can see, very narrow tunnel. Very difficult to go in, but somehow I still managed to get the White Fox. That bleed from the enemy is so painful, so... Our Devil Dino was down at the time, so since we only had one tank, I was messaging the team, telling them to fall back. The Daredevil listened to me, but some of the others were a bit slower to follow. And unfortunately, we lost our White Fox. Our Venom was deciding to advance, so I decided to attack. Fortunately, we were too late, and everybody was pouring in, so it was time to go. But I was too late to escape. We were already at 81%, so it seemed to be in the bag, but everybody was on the zone. Unfortunately, our Dino was taken out. Didn't know where to go next, so I decided to flank again. Keep them busy while I go ahead and see what's inside the zone. Daredevil and White Fox ult. I saw Hawkeye. Time to go ahead and take a chance. But unfortunately, Hulk was there, so I decided to make my exit. White Fox was away from their team, so I thought of attacking her. But Hulk decided to pursue me. Time to go ahead and escape and give myself some heals. I got attacked. I noticed that someone was there, and Phoenix took me out. I could not believe how much damage she actually could do. It was scary. So, definitely not the best course of action. Enemy Hulk was going monster, so we had to go make sure to be careful. We had to fight 2 tanks on the enemy team, and managed to get my block, and then use my punches, but we still didn't have enough. At this point in time, I was already thinking that we need to give up, because usually that's how it goes in my quick play matches. We snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, but I decided to push through anyway. Went after the Venom because they only had partial health. Got my block off and used my punches, and managed to take them out before they reached the med kit. So 81%, we could still make it. So I decided to make a beeline straight for the zone. Instead of trying to fight off, only Hawkeye was there, so we could go ahead and take possession. I think that was a good call in hindsight. And we managed to get him. White Fox got in the way, but we took him out quickly. And a little Qiguang Changhong to cap it off, because it felt like a waste not to use it otherwise. 2 straight wins. I was relieved. And I was shocked when I saw this. I thought I was seeing things. I was actually panicking when I pressed the screenshot button on my Xbox controller, but apparently my eyes were not deceiving me. You know, I seem to perform a lot better when I'm not on stream, apparently. Maybe it's just because I always shut up when I'm not on stream. Maybe that's a secret, but definitely a respectable performance if you see that. 23 KOs, 3 deaths only. I got a triple and 15 final hits. Very respectable, I must say. So, not bad, not bad. And hopefully we'll be able to do even better in the future, because I'm certainly liking Iron Fist now. And hopefully we'll be able to do more with him in the future.